Yeah, it wouldn't let me. Isn't that weird?
All right. Hello, everyone. We just went ahead and started the live stream so that everyone can jump on, that we can send out that wonderful little notification to everybody that we are officially starting this evening off.
Absolutely. Hopefully we build a little audience because right now we got 6 watching.
Yep, we're at 3 on my end.
I've got 6. Now I got 5.
5. It's going up.
They saw Joel and they all jumped off.
Oh, well, you seem surprised.
I think it's AJ.
It's probably just us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just us watching.
Dang it, we're losing
1,
people
2,
already.
3, 4, 5. Wow.
It is just the 5 of us right now, isn't it? Oh, well, see, and that's the misleading thing, because according to the chat, I can see more people in chat than is displaying. There we go, we're at 7. So we know at least we
watching,
have...
to be fair.
Britneck's watching, so we know he's there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Keegan,
yes.
good old Keegan.
Yup, Gannon 5674, welcome. Kevin McCleary is saying Alex. I'm assuming that you are jumping in on the bandwagon there. Yeah, that hails from Flight Fest 2016, when instead of calling each other like normal people, we would yell each other's names from half a mile away.
Yeah, really loudly.
All right. Well, getting there. Usually, on the average live stream, we'll end up with anywhere between 25 and 35 people coming on and chit-chatting away. So I just got the notification that we're live on YouTube, so that's good news. Okay. Open. 9.
There's my motley crew. There's my motley crew. Okay, nice. Good job, Pembroke.
Yeah.
And
getting caught.
If you guys missed it in the live chat, we are experiencing a very minor technical issue. It's called Adobe Creative Cloud did an update, and I didn't have time to finish adjusting all the settings before going live due to just coming back from South Florida. Yay, Florida Turnpike. All right. The good news is that I can... Ooh, that's working way better. I can actually hear myself in the microphone, which is good. But the problem is now it's going to record on the local channel as well.
If we have to, we can pull off of YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Wait. Ooh, no, it's not. I just tested it in QuickTime. That's fantastic.
Well, good.
I've never been able to monitor my own voice before. All right, I'm going to go ahead and arm for recording. And we are golden. Good news. We are recording, everybody.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, open the show, Joel.
Let's do that. So give me just a second here to adjust everybody's settings. Okay, I think we should be good. Okay. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and take 5 seconds of baseline silence starting now. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 40th episode of the Flight Test Community Podcast. I am one of the 2 hosts on the show this evening. Pat, unfortunately, is unable to make the show. He's actually taking a much-needed vacation. I know it's amazing. He's never taken a break on the show before, and tonight he has elected to do so. And we will miss him greatly. Let's take a moment for Pat. Okay, moving on. So we have, joining us this evening, we also have the great, the famous, the grumpy old man himself, Mike Finley.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hope everybody's doing well.
Yes, indeed.
And I don't even want to talk about me. We got 4 guys on here that we really need to talk to and talk about.
110%. Yeah, we're super.
And look at them all looking around trying to find out who they are.
Yeah, and I was going to say, so let's go ahead and introduce everybody that we have going on here this evening. So whoever wants to go ahead and begin and start introducing yourself, go right ahead.
I guess I'll start because everyone's just kind of staring. So just in case, why not, right?
There you go.
Tim Stanfield, aka Tan Starfield. Story behind that another time. I'm the president, the owner of Ready Made RC, and the boss of these cool guys that are also joining us here.
El Presidente.
El Presidente, yes.
Yeah.
The big cheese, whatever. The guy who gets free from all these guys.
Yeah.
Of the check.
As long as he keeps signing them, right?
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what? X? Dang it.
That
Got this model all wrong.
My name is Huff, and I'm our lead engineer at Ready Made. I'm responsible for most of our new products that we design in-house. I work with some of the other guys there at the shop, and we try and make cool stuff.
Yeah,
So
you
far,
guys
you're doing
have.
a pretty good job.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's looking to be quite an exciting holiday season for you guys based on what we are currently seeing. We're going to get into a little bit of that today. Who else is joining us?
Well, my name is Kevin McCleary. I'm the product manager and team pilot manager for Ready Made RC. So,
And then, of course, probably the one that everyone is familiar with who stayed quiet this entire time, and I'm still amazed that he's doing it.
Yeah, I'm AJ Goin. I go by Ocbots. I'm a former drone racer, and I work for Ready Made RC. I do product video and support. So
Fantastic. And people may know you from somewhere else as well. And it was this thing on TV. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, like the DRL. I think
yeah,
it was.
that's right. The drone racing league. Yeah, I've been on there for a couple of seasons.
Fantastic. And thank once again, all of you. We wanted to make sure that on the actual show itself that we recorded, a huge thank you to each and every single one of you for joining us on the show this evening. It means a heck of a lot to Mike, Pat, and I that you've all joined us this evening and taken the time out of your very, very busy schedules this Christmas season to join us.
Especially on a Sunday night when you should be hanging out with your families.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
This is what we all live for, so thanks for having us.
That's right.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, I think we've been
Talking to you.
about this for a while. Yeah. So we've kind of had this show teed up for a little bit. I know AJ and I have been speaking at least since Flight Fest, and we wanted to get you guys on to chit chat about Ready Made RC and a lot of things that are going on with you guys. But I think probably now is the best time to get you guys on because there are some really exciting things going on with Ready Made. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in real quick here on a couple of follow-ups that we have from last week. So the first note I have is that we had no voicemails, but that's a lie because we do. And we'll save that for the end of the show because that's a gem. And the other one is that we are so close to 1,000 likes on Facebook, and we would really, really like everybody's help. So if you guys could take some time now, hop onto Facebook and go ahead. Can you guys share our page? And we want to try and hit 1,000 by the end of this year. That is our goal. So we're doing what's called the race to 1,000, and the goal is to get to 1,000 likes. We don't know what we're doing when we get there, but we're going to celebrate somehow.
Yeah, there may be a gift or something for the 1,000th.
Exactly. We'll come up with something. We don't know what
figure
yet.
something out. We don't know. We'll
Exactly. It's on the table. And again, when do we ever plan anything over here, really? So let's kind of dive right into this. So I think probably the best person to ask this is probably Tim. Where did Ready Made RC come from? What's the history of the company?
Well, I'll try to keep this as short as I can because it's I don't want to bore everyone with the long story of how it came to be. But I guess the quickest way to say it is back in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, not long after me and some other people started flying FPV. We started getting some people looking for some pre-built systems, and I had a full-time job doing other stuff, but decided, hey, I'm spent a lot of money on the hobby, so I'm gonna make a few pre-made things and sell them on eBay or sell them on RC Groups forum or some other places, and started selling a few things and started building ready-made systems, hence the name. And we're looking at you, Alex, I think. There you go. Maybe
that one.
On him. Yeah. No, but started building some systems, realized as I was going and started developing some pods and various parts and piecing things together that there was a need for this stuff on the market, and started selling a few things on the side. And that was, the website was created right at the end of 2008, beginning of 2009. And again, at the time, it was still just, I'm just selling a few things to pay for the hobby. And then it just kind of evolved and grew, and I had to make a choice. Do I want to work full time with the other job or do this? I had to commit and did this. That would have been, I guess that'd have been about 2011, and left the full time job. The wife was scared. I was scared. Worked out of the basement for a little while. Got a small facility for a little while. Hired a person. Hired another person. And, I guess skipped to a few years later, and here we are. I've got all these guys working for me. I think I'm at 15 employees now, and
that's fantastic.
12,500 square foot facility, and, get to hang out with all these cool guys and do this stuff. I don't fly as much as I used to anymore, but, we still get to, when we test fly, it's a good excuse for me to get out and fly things. So,
Test crash.
What's that?
Test crash.
Test crash, yes. I crash a lot, yeah. Yes. I test the durability of the planes.
There you go.
And the quads and everything else, yeah. But so I guess that's that's as quick as I can make it for that story. It's enjoyed RC flying, was in FPV for a long time, even before a lot of people knew what it was, and I've kind of seen the whole market explode as people see and understand what FPV is. So it's been fun, and it's we'll see where it goes in the next few years.
It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Excellent. So start with so you guys were predominantly founded on the basis of FPV. So most of the things that you started to develop started to come through the FPV market, and of course that was in the days of the long range system. So you guys weren't really developing on the 5.8 stuff, right, at the beginning?
Right. In the early days, everything was about fixed wing, and the quads really hadn't hit the market when we first started. It was all and still to this day, everything we do is focused in some way around FPV, but we continue to expand it out, and as we can to other things in the hobby. We love flying other things too, but FPV is still our main focus. Yeah.
Absolutely. I know, I guess it was Flight Fest 14, the first one. I actually bought my Fat Sharks and the camera, and I still have, I don't have the Fat Sharks anymore. I actually gave them to a buddy of mine, but the original, what were they, or not original, but they were the ones you guys had on sale. What were they? The teleporter.
Yep.
Yeah, it had to have been a teleporter V2, and it had the old Fat Shark, real heavy aluminum frame camera and all that.
Oh yeah,
I actually still have that, the camera and the VTX, and it still works.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we got a hold of one of the old immersion. I think it was a 2.4 video transmitter, and it was massive. Actually, no, there's an old 25 milliwatt immersion 5.8 transmitter, and it was probably about 2.5 to 3 inches long, about 2.5, about 1.5 inches wide. It was massive, it's like 25 milliwatt. Now, that would fit, a thumbnail size transmitter on.
Oh, it's sitting in there.
Yeah.
I should have grabbed a couple of things.
Show and tell. Oh, that's fantastic. So I think the very earliest I had ever heard of Ready Made actually came from Flight Test, and it kind of wasn't, I don't want to say it was like a formal episode, but they were featuring the lunar eclipse, and that came from, I think the episode premiered in 15, if I'm not mistaken, just as the lunar eclipse had come out. So what was the history of Ready-Made starting to work towards foam models?
I'll take this one again. Don't want to take over the whole thing. Let the other guys talk a little bit. But we at that time were starting to work with a few manufacturers and coming out with some of our own models. Some of them were custom designed. Some of them were basically they offered some things and we OEM'd them. The lunar eclipse was one of those. The manufacturer actually already had that design, and originally we looked at it. We're like, well, this isn't an FPV plane. It's just a just a fixed wing plane. But yeah, we'll fly it. We flew. It was like, wow, this plane flies really good. So we went ahead and had them built. Branded it Lunar Eclipse because the Mooney company didn't reply to us, and we didn't want to use their name. So Lunar Eclipse Mooney, close enough, right?
Yeah, Kevin, exactly.
When I came up with that name, but
no, it's great.
But because Kevin was there at the time. I'd say as the time went on, Kevin was one of the earlier employees. But yeah, we were testing it out, flew it. It worked great, and then we worked with flight test guys, and they did a episode on that and some other of the early planes that we were coming out with at that time.
Yeah, it was like a feature of all of the ready-made RC available models that you were starting to do, just because FPV was such even to them, it was kind of a newer part of the hobby that was really becoming more and more mainstream. So just to kind of get the message out there. So that's fantastic. So talking about evolving the company now past that point, what then kind of led to the next progression, and where did those early models then develop into ready-made what we see today?
Well, I think as time went on, there was a bit of a focus for a while on multi-rotor, and I would have to say that the development of fixed wing slowed down for a while for us and for everyone else in general. Everyone focused on the drones and the quads and racing and everything, which is great, and it's still a focus. But and I would say just time flies so fast in this hobby, but we started looking at it again and working with some manufacturers, and came out with a few new planes under the Ready-Made brand. I'm trying to think, the Mini Skyhunter, the
Nano Skyhunter.
Nano Skyhunter, sorry. Well, yeah, the Nano Skyhunter is an awesome plane. We have, the Mako. That was the name I was trying to remember about that time, which did well. That would have been, I guess, 2 years ago. And then we've really, over the past year, and Alex has been a huge part of this, and then we've had some outside help with some work on some plane designs, and it's just, I think we've really made a push now for some really high performance, both either in how they fly or the speed planes, and so we've come out with the Alatus, and then the what's that?
Stratosurfer.
Yeah, the Stratosurfer. Sorry, I'm just pulling a complete blank on the names of all of our stuff here. What's going on? The Goblin.
The president doesn't remember what?
Yeah. The Goblin. I mean, that's that. I was stuck on. Obviously the Goblin came out last year, and then this year the huge release that people that have gotten their hands on these are really loving on them is the Nano Goblin. So there's just been. We also have had the Recruit come out under the Ready-Made brand. So, all these planes coming out really with a focus on performance and quality, and not just being satisfied with some of the things we see on some of the cheap knockoff and cheap planes that you get from other places. Right. We really, these things are all of us get together, and we really want these things to be the planes that we would want. None of the shortcomings, none of the stupid garbage you got to deal with on some of these other planes. Just good planes that already come ready to go and fly the way we want them to fly.
Yeah. Well, and I think that that new Stratosurfer with that polyethylene fuselage, to me, that is fantastic idea. I mean, it's like a wiffle ball bat, for lack of a better. you know. And I mean, you can crash that thing into whatever you want, and you're not going to hurt it. I mean, other than the wings, but
Kevin and Alex really took a hold of that, and and went with that. And I think again, that is, if you look at it, it's very similar to some of the early FPV style planes where we were using easy stars and various surfers and stuff.
Yeah.
But it takes the ideas of various parts of those and just they took it to the next level with everything. I mean, everything was built already upgraded, you know, and durable. Yeah, it was a great idea with the fuselage. You know, maybe I should let those guys talk a little bit about the process and how they came up with it.
It's funny you said it's indestructible, because at Flight Fest South, I was doing a demonstration and lost signal and went right through the barbed wire, and it took off every control surface and wing, and the fuselage survived. It shot right through the fence, and it had you on it.
What time was that? How did I miss it?
I don't know. It was the fence out there by the cows, and I had to climb around the side to get it back. It was funny. So there's a few did survive though. So
that's funny.
Yeah, I mean those things are. I mean they're. I guess they're blow molded polyethylene, or correct?
Yeah. Yeah, and we were taking off in the asphalt at most of our events, like at our FPV Fest and the Flight Fest South. It's so awesome to take off from asphalt and do touch and goes.
Well, it's just so much more durable, and it has infinitely more room inside of it than the original Sky Surfer style planes. Barely fit like a 3S 2200 was about as big as you could get without playing a bunch of games.
Yep.
And then if you wanted to add any type of like an OSD or flight controller, there was do it, but you had to have either pretty small fingers or get pretty creative about how you were assembling things. But that same style, easy to fly plane, and then we made it, more room inside it, and we made it a lot more durable. We changed like one of the easy things was the wingtips. The wingtips don't curl up quite as much as the original design that allows this plane to be slightly more aerobatic. Inverted, and it doesn't try and roll out of it, but it still has the easy to fly, self-stabilizing characteristics of the original. It's just pretty.
Kept the wingspan so it still fit in your car, but we also increased the cord by about 20 millimeters to add some more wing loading too. So a lot of things.
And that has flaps on board as well.
Yeah,
that's compared to the
they're optional. Yeah, that was compared. We're talking about the comparisons. We had the RMRC Surfer that was out, and it was a an OEM plane that we were building. But yeah, this evolved from that, and the all the Easy Star style. I mean, the whole start of Ready Made was me hacking apart Easy Stars and trying to figure out how people could actually fit all this equipment in it. So, that I guess I felt like we came back to the roots here when they brought our direction back to that. And I feel like when the Stratosurfer and the Elatis came out, that began a really big push for us for some of these new designs. It was around that time we really started Alex really just started digging in, and we started working with some new unique things, and there's more stuff coming. So
and with that, I kind of want to, since we're talking about the Stratosurfer as well, kind of going in, because the Stratosurfer is labeled under the brand Strix. So do you guys want to talk a little bit about the Strix brand and kind of what your intentions are behind that?
Yeah. So, one of the things, brand awareness is important, but, we want to be able to sell to other dealers. We don't want to, just be the only guys selling planes, but for people to be able to buy, models, they don't necessarily want to buy a brand that's advertising for a competitor. So there's that. And then there's also just we wanted a brand that started from scratch with a very specific purpose and a very specific brand that followed through to what it meant with the quality of the products and so forth. So we created the Strix brand with the goal of being high performance, high quality aircraft at a good price. They're not going to be the cheapest, but they're also not going to be the most expensive aircraft, and it's a brand to be used across all the products. So we have aircraft, we have both fixed wing and multi-rotor, we have electronics, cameras, antennas coming out possibly soon, some other things very soon. So you know, I think it's more of a, you know, you want to build up a reputation so people know what they're getting. Ready Made has a good name, but you know, this was a very focused change in how these products came about. Like I said, Kevin's being the product manager and Alex being engineer have been a huge part of that, and they were part of. Kevin was really the one who pushed hard to get this idea started, and you know, it's working out well. And I think the products, hopefully, everyone likes. What's that?
We finally got it.
Yeah, that's right. He was pushing me for a long time actually to do it.
Ready Made also, Ready Made is a store, and people, you know, or a website, but people know, when people think Ready Made, they think of the website, not necessarily as a, you know, performance brand. And so we wanted a short, easy to remember name that would stick in people's heads that could be marketed kind of on its own, in addition to you know, the products that it represented. But Strix is not just a website or a you know, a certain group of products. It's its own thing, and it has its own, I don't know, line of products and reputation that stands on its own. And Ready Made is, you know, proud to carry it, as well as all the other people that we distribute through.
Sure.
And I'd be one of the first to admit that the name Ready Made RC is pretty cheesy. So yeah. when I created it, I really had no intention of it being a full-blown standalone business. You know, it was just a, hey, I'm going to sell some planes that are ready to go. What should I call it? Oh, they're Ready Made. All right. You know, so I'll throw up a web page and there you go. So never really had brand awareness in mind when that name was brought up. So, you know, Strix is cooler.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh yeah. And I think people are now starting to, you know, really latch onto the Strix brand and follow and really follow everything that you guys are doing. And especially with the new releases of products that are coming in, I think people are really following what you guys are doing. I think you have a really good model and a really good flow as to how it's all getting along. I think we just lost AJ for a hot second.
Yeah, we did.
We'll come back here in just a sec. So with that, you guys, you had mentioned quadcopter stuff, and it's a shame that AJ disappeared at this moment, because I was going to say, so what is the next develop for Strix in terms of multi-rotor stuff? Is it an area that you guys are pushing to develop closer toward? What do the multi-rotor part of Strix look like, and where is that moving?
Since AJ's back, why doesn't he talk about that?
I missed most of this, obviously, but I'm pretty sure we're talking about quads. Luckily, yeah. So Strix originally came out with the Octo 10, which was just something that we had already kind of developed with the Gobi and the Hellbender. Octo 10 is Ready Made RC, but we combined all the features that I wanted to see in a quad. So we came with the Octo 10. Now it's kind of switched to top mount frames, and especially for freestyle, I've kind of seen myself gravitating towards freestyle more. So I wanted to see personally a drop deck, top mount battery frame, and that's kind of what we're working on right now. So we've had several rounds of prototypes. We're in production phase right now. We expect to see a new freestyle frame from Strix that's going to be super high quality, have all the best features, and be really good in the press wise. So that's kind of what we're working on right now.
Yeah, I was going to say that seems to be the hot ticket item right now, is those low freestyle style frames.
Yeah, it's
now
all, you know, real low center of gravity where you got the battery right there in line. So
yeah.
So, and you've been doing quite a bit of 6-inch stuff, AJ, recently as well. So can we expect to see something in the 6-inch range as well as the 5-inch?
That's a possibility. Right now, our focus is to get the 5-inch out, I'm sure. We definitely have the RMRC Valorum, and we have 6 and 7-inch arms ready for that. And that's in stores now. And the best part about that is it's $18 for the frame, a few bucks for the longer arms. So if you wanted to get something like that right now, you could. For this frame, I'm sure we'll see at least a 6-inch, especially with all these great new props coming out from HQ, some other manufacturers as well. 6 inches finally got on the right path with lightweight props that perform like 5-inch. Now if only 7-inch would go there, because 7-inch, there's nothing out there for 7-inch.
Sure.
unless you want Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be the common theme with 7-inch frames right now, is just getting the prop right. I think GWS is the only one who's currently producing a 7-inch prop that can actually do anything useful.
It's funny how this has gone full circle, because we've been through this size phase already with the multi-rotor.
Yes.
It's a
How long will it be till
Yeah.
we're back to 8-inch, which is all the props that we just closed out?
8
Yeah.
inches just started.
and that's just it. I think it's funny because I think, when things were bigger, they were more stable, and as flight control technology developed, the ability to get more and more acrobatic style flying came into be, and so everyone went for the smaller and smaller thing. And so I think 2-inch became a development of that whole premise, and now everyone's like, well, no, bigger flies better, so we must get bigger props. And people were trying and experimenting with 6-inch, loved it, went to 7, and hey presto, we're getting the same issues again.
Yeah.
So
now we want those long flight times to be able to reach out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Tim said, though, we've already been there at the long range game for a long period of time.
Mhm.
That's
But now
right. It's a lot of the people that came into this, came in these racing quads, and they didn't see the bit larger quads or fixed wing for that matter. And we're seeing a lot of them show a lot of interest in that.
Yeah, no, it's true. Are you seeing? Maybe tough to see on your end, but are you seeing a lot of people kind of going from wings to quads, or are you seeing kind of a shift the other way, where people are on your end, instead of buying the quad stuff, they're shifting more towards the wings because of the things that you guys are doing with the Stratoserver and other things in the Strix brand?
We're seeing a lot of people switch from quads to wings with the Recruit we released. A lot of people who ordered it hadn't really flown much fixed wing, and we saw that with the questions they were asking. They didn't know a lot about it, how to fix it, things like a normal wing pilot would probably already know. These quad pilots had no idea. So the Recruit has really done well for us for transferring over a lot of quad pilots, and they're now evolving into the faster planes like the Goblin and of course the Goblin. So it's been good for us for that.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
feels like to me that there's more of a switch from multi-rotor to fixed wing than the other way around. I think the fixed wing to multi-rotor happened, a couple of years ago. And that saturated from that market. Then all the new people saw it. They saw AJ on DRL and said, "Ah, man, I want to do that kind of stuff." And and it brought a lot of people in that had never flown anything. And now they're looking around to see what else they can do, because as fun as it is, everyone always wants to try something different. And fixed wing is cool. And I personally I love flying fixed wing. That's my go-to type of flying right now.
Yeah. And I think it's especially apparent, especially in the types of wings that you guys are bringing out. The Goblin is a very, very simple airframe. Being a bank and yank, 2 servos, very, very easy to set up. Similar part set to multi-rotor as well. So it's easy for quad pilots to kind of get into the wing scene. And that's especially apparent. And I'm really, really excited about this. And I've been really trying to calm myself down, because the Nano Goblin is the coolest stinking plane I've ever seen. So, all right, let's talk about the Nano Goblin. Tell us everything we need to know.
I will say this, that we have collectively all, I think, had more fun testing a product with this specific product than anything we've ever flown. I think Kevin and Alex and AJ. AJ's gotten back into flying more fixed wing, I think, lately with this, and everyone that sees it and gets to fly it it just wants so bad to have one, and we are trying to get them here as fast as we can. Yeah, it's I guess why don't Alex or Kevin, why don't one of you guys talk about how that kind of evolved, came to be?
Well, we had the Big Goblin, which was designed by someone that we have been working with for a while, and so we had the Goblin, we made it, and it was really fast, really efficient, very precision oriented. something that was pretty new to the market. Honestly, there's never been a plane that was quite that fast and slippery and agile and etc., whatever you want to call it. But then we realized that, well, this is fun, but it's it's kind of like flying a fighter jet. You need like a big space to fly it. You need to have your ground station set up. You got to be like really ready to partake in something that's about to be pretty wild. And it sometimes people want something simpler, something that's easier, something that they can fly in a smaller space and stuff like that. And so I started talking to the guy that designed the original Goblin, and I said, well, so we're thinking about something that is smaller, and we want to be able to fly in a small park or your backyard, and we want to keep the precision and high efficiency of the Goblin, but we don't need to go so fast necessarily. And so we talked for hours and hours and hours and came up with what is now the Nano Goblin. And it really, I think, has done a great job of keeping the original efficiency, precision characteristics of the big Goblin, but now you can fly at like, I don't know, about 12 miles an hour before you hit a stall, and you can fly in your backyard. You can launch and land in no space at all, and you can fly. We're getting over hour flight times with a 2-cell lithium-ion battery pack, and
It's wild.
it's the most fun thing. I got the original prototype, and I was just having a blast with that thing. I was flying it for almost an hour, like every single night, and I was just having the most fun in the world. And I kept telling everyone at work about how great this thing was, and they're like, okay, yeah, well, whatever, it's fine. Like,
wait until you try it. It's like almost, here, hold my beer. Try this.
I think this is the most fun, and that's the key word, just fun. This is the most fun you can have with an airplane. It's not, if fun is your goal, then that is the plane for you. And so I had some other people fly it, and they were all right, but then I quickly took it back because I didn't want them to crash it, and it was the only one, and whatever. So, but I pushed hard to have the first samples made, and then once we did, then Kevin started flying more, and Tim started flying more, and some of the other guys, and then everyone finally kind of had this revelation that, like, wow, we really got something here. And it's under 250 grams, and it just really turned out to be a great thing. And we've all just had an incredible time throughout the design process and the testing process. We've been testing this thing for, I don't even know how many months. And,
all year.
Yeah, I guess it probably has been about a year.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it's been just about a year. And so it's just been a really, really fun plane for us. And I think that everyone that has flown it for any period of time has enjoyed fixed wing in a whole new way than they have before. So
one of the things that jumped out to me is a lot of times the small planes are you go out and there's a 5 mile an hour wind, I better not fly. The smaller just these micro planes that you get, because they're so light and they just kind of float around. And this is just nothing like that. This is a plane that I've flown in. We've all, I think, flown in conditions that we probably wouldn't want to fly a larger plane in.
Yeah.
And it just cuts through it. It's still going to get bounced around, but you have so much control that it's just you fly right through it. You can still fly under obstacles and fly under branches and stuff.
Sure.
Kevin's crashed mine I don't know how many times, and just keep throwing it back up in the air. I mean, Kevin crashes all the time. So
now, one big question: since it is a flying wing, does it have that really annoying wing waggle?
No, you'll see if you watch some videos, you'll see a little bit. It's going to get bobbed a little bit, but it doesn't waggle like you see a lot of the standard fixed wings. I think Alex was getting ready to say something there too. It looked like.
Yeah, it depends on how you how susceptible you are to it, but it really doesn't. I mean, if it depends on the conditions. If you have a crosswind, then you're going to see a little bit of head shake side to side, but for the most part, that thing really well. And the dual fins, it really straightens it out pretty well. So as long as you have power and you're not in a heavy wind condition, then you're not going to experience any significant wag.
I was going to say, with the Goblin, the original Goblin that we came out with, I hadn't flown wings in forever. And that plane got me back into it, specifically because you could run an HD camera and not have that tail wag that you always see in planes. That's what I never like planes. It made me nauseous.
Yeah.
But with the Goblin, you go out and dive a mountain, get amazing footage, throw it up on YouTube, and it looks like a quad flown it almost. And the same thing goes with the Nano Goblin. Now you can throw a run cam split in there and get amazing aerial footage, HD footage, without that waggle. So that's why I like both of those Goblins so much.
Oh, that's fantastic. See, I didn't know that the Nano Goblin had the ability to take the split. That's really well. I guess there's enough. That cavity in the nose is gigantic. First of all, I got to see the one that you guys brought down to Flight Fest South, and I was astounded at how big that center well is for the battery. And you're saying on a 2-cell you're getting up to an hour. Is that on 18650s, or is there a particular size that you're going for on those lithium ions?
We sell the Strix, I guess, is a 3200 milliamp hour 2-cell 18650 pack, and I think the record we've seen with that battery is like 1 hour and 10 minutes or
well, Alec did that at work. Alec did that at work when it was windy, and he was just out there flying around in circles, but he was still flying pretty aggressively for as windy as it was.
And realize that these battery packs actually came from our goggle packs. For a long time we were using goggle packs, our lithium ion goggle packs with the just snipping the plug and replacing it with XT30 or something.
Prototype barrel plug.
That's right. We used a barrel plug. So, you have a plane that can.
The barrel plug weighed so much that I had to tape it down in place so that it didn't throw off the CG of the whole plane.
Wow. That's astounding.
So I'm sure most of you have seen probably one of the promo videos we did Nano Goblin, and it was kind of fun. A large portion of that footage was all shot from Kevin's plane, and we were shooting for an entire afternoon, and it was the entire afternoon was on one battery pack on Kevin's plane. We did how many different takes,
Unbelievable.
But we were shooting for 4 hours, and obviously it wasn't flying the entire time, but he never even stopped to recharge. He just kept throwing it up in the air, and it's great. Like, you have one battery and you can fly for an entire afternoon.
Literally, it is the plane with your transmitter and your goggles sitting in the front seat of your car that you can just have there charged up, because it's a lithium ion. You don't have to worry about a LiPo exploding on your front seat. You can just have it sitting there ready to go and throw it up whenever you get a free moment. This is like the lunchtime flying plane. It's unbelievable.
That's why I come back to the saying that if fun is what you're after, then it's really the plane for you, because I love flying really big planes like Anaconda, and we have some other stuff in the works, and the Air Titan and other. I love big planes. I think they're really, really fun. But to be honest, it is a bother to lug around a big ground station, and you got to have, all the stuff associated with really big planes. You have massive batteries that got to charge forever. You got to, triple check everything to make sure that it's not going to fall out of the air or fly away, or, planes just inherently have a lot more baggage, if you will. And that, it's not a bad thing, but it definitely makes the whole flying experience a lot more of like an ordeal. And the Nano Goblin is just something that you can just have in the passenger seat. And yeah, if you have 20 minutes of lunch, go fly. And, it's just with a easy 5/8 system, and you just do whatever you want. You don't need a ground station. You don't need all the extra stuff that you do with big planes, and you can just really just have fun with it.
Yeah, and that is just it. It's just such a great and for quad pilots, we were just talking about the transition from a quad pilot to get into a fixed wing. Doesn't it run a T-motor on the back of it as well? So it's just like a quad-sized motor?
Actually, a Cobra motor that we
Cobra.
had. Yeah, so it's a, Kevin, a 1407?
Yep.
I think so.
That's nothing.
I think.
47 on a prop.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're cutting it out there, Alex. For me.
Say what you were saying again, Kevin.
I'd say 1407, 3700 kV on a 3-inch prop. So it's a multi-rotor motor. So another thing we'd like to do with these planes is use components that would typically be used in multi-rotors and put them in our planes. Makes those guys feel more comfortable for transitioning over. That's why you see the Recruit has a 2204, and we use the 1407 in the Goblin with a typical 5mm shocks. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to Jimping for giving us samples at Muncie International Open. I got to play with those and use them before they were out.
Oh, that's great. So it's a gem fan on the back of that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
3-bladed gem fan. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. So it's just, again, it's just that really quick and easy, can sit and live on the front seat of your car. And it just takes one of those quick cameras, all-in-ones. And you even said that it can take a split to take HD footage.
Peter has one with a split. He even has a micro vector with GPS. It's the whole setup, and it's under
Alec running
43 grams. Yeah,
Alec has he has a micro like with the mini Pixhawk, right? Or no? What is he running?
Alec has a micro vector in his personal one, but
okay.
One we've been testing, we've put a micro Pixhawk in it, and we've been testing doing some autonomous stuff with that, which is really neat because when you have a plane that weighs under 250 grams and can fly completely autonomously, it's a pretty neat trick. So
that is slick.
That's amazing.
Full OSD and everything that you would want out of it.
Yeah. I think he managed to get it under 250 even with the extra equipment in there. At least it was really close if we didn't make it under.
Yeah. It was 249.5. We took off the decal. took off the hatch, the little carbon fiber hatch piece. We took that off, and it was barely under. But it was under 250 with the micro vector and ready to fly. So
wow,
we can do
it. See, and that's just the ticket. Is even if people don't, well, whenever we get this registration back, the heck, who knows? But it gives you the ability to fly under that weight limit successfully and still have all of those incredible features. I mean, granted, the run cam split, really helps the HD.
Sure.
And I'm sure a lot of the footage that you guys captured for that promo was taken off of the split.
Actually, no.
Really?
Yeah, actually, no. It was all regular micro.
The first one, yeah.
That's incredible.
At that time, we hadn't really played with that yet, and we just were using the all-in-one setups. But now that's where everyone's starting to move to, is the split.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's just hope that they come out with, instead of the 30x30, that they come out with a 20x20.
Awesome.
Watch.
So Louis Russi says, I have friends in low places. How fast can I get one? And
I just told him that the friends need him first.
Yeah, agreed. The friends definitely need him first.
I'll use him to segue into that part of it because I know we were going to talk about that. So we have had an express option available that basically the people that really wanted them bad could pay the extra air fee to get them shipped air to us from our manufacturer instead of taking the literal slow boat, the ocean shipment. We actually wound up having, we shipped a larger batch than those that actually ordered that via air. We are still waiting for them all to show up because the post office does amazing and strange things and is taking forever to literally minivan drive them from Cincinnati 2 or 3 cases at a time to Columbus. I have no idea why, but so we've been trickling them out as they've been coming in, and we still haven't quite filled all of the express options for people that have ordered them. But if there still are some available, so that if you order it with the express option, you still get it when the post office does get it to us in the order that the orders were placed. For those waiting for the slow boat, it's going to be really close to Christmas time. I don't think I would trust getting your plane by Christmas if you're doing the slow boat version, just because all it takes is customs, wanting to take a closer look at it in, a couple days, and there you go. But we should have, we're going to have, we went up to a couple hundred of the express option shipped, and I think there's probably 20 or 30 left that will fill that. I haven't looked since last week, but so, go to the site and you'll see an express option there. You choose that, you're going to get one of those that's coming faster through the U.S. mail to us.
We call that the Honda Odyssey Express because they're actually using Honda Odysseys to bring them from Cincinnati to us.
That is a whole story by itself. I'm still amazed that they can deliver anything at this point.
And so close to Christmas, you'd expect them to be a little bit more on their game.
No.
I don't understand why a minivan is the only option. I know they have big trucks. I'm really confused as to what they're doing with these things, but they are once a day driving a minivan to Cincinnati and coming back up to our post office. So,
boy,
they call me and we drive over in our van and get them every day.
yeah, they don't even deliver them. We have to go pick them up because their trucks aren't big enough, I guess, to hold these. And yeah, and we want to get them. It's just amazing. Yeah, right. I'll be right out. Right. Just don't choose U.S. Postal Service for shipping right now. They're really bad. No, I mean, for the holidays, stuff's just not going anywhere. Just not even from us anywhere. I wouldn't choose it at all if it's by Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tim, you mentioned customs delays, and remember with the first batch of goblins, we had a customs delay because the Fish and Wildlife wanted to take a closer look at our container, and it delayed it a week because they thought it was actually fish inside there. If you look at the side profile of the full-size goblin with the plastic fuselage, I'm sure it showed up in their X-ray machine.
So we know that container got X-rayed because it got flagged for the X-ray, and that takes an extra day or two. Immediately after, I looked at the status, and it says it's on hold for visual check with Fish and Wildlife. What? And then we started thinking about it. We're like, no, there's no way. They look just like fish when you get the you see hundreds of planes from a side view and an X-ray, and like they've got a whole school of fish in there. They're all lined up in perfect rows too.
Well, I think we have a show title, guys. Hold it for Fish and Wildlife.
I'm surprised they didn't hold our shipment of anacondas the last time. Because.
Just because of the name, right?
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. That's funny. So I'm really glad to hear that you guys have actually got them on the boats. They're coming in so people can start to see them by the new year. That's super exciting. So with that, let's kind of poke at the bear a little bit. Have you guys got any sneak peeks or anything that you kind of want to talk about, get some hype out about something that we can expect to see from you guys in the new year?
In the new year? Wow.
AJ, do you have one?
I don't. I didn't bring it with me from work.
We should have done this from work, right? Guys, let's go.
Let's go.
I do have a new
Um,
fidget toy at work though that I play with and annoy everyone with at work. It's their first prototype. It's going to be a new tool specifically for multi-rotor pilots, but it can be used from anyone, and it's going to be great for, say, like our Strix tactical flight pack. We have a backpack that we make, and it's a perfect multi-tool for traveling, small, and it covers all your bases for a typical metric multi-rotor. So that's going to be pretty sweet. I was hoping I should have brought it so I could at least give a sneak peek, but typical
I mean,
unpreparedness.
we're always working on new things, and in their various stages. I mean, we will have something that's coming out here probably Monday or Tuesday. With I'll just say they'll be antennas. We'll leave it at that. And,
Be specific.
yeah. We'll talk about the name later. And then we also have some new motors. I don't know, Kevin. Do you have anything to show off?
Well, I have some antennas if you want to show them.
Ooh.
I don't know. Tim, I got permission from the boss here.
I don't know. If we do that, we're gonna have to go into a lot of discussion. Let's go ahead. That's fine.
Ooh. Okay.
So
Ooh,
super lightweight.
Wait. Turn that on its head. Okay. So basically, for those who are listening but can't see what we're seeing, it's essentially a square antenna with a rather large divot on the very top that looks like it's almost got a bowl in it. That's very interesting. So explain. I'm assuming that's a 5.8 antenna.
Go ahead, Tim.
We actually, all right. We'll go into the whole story of this one. So we actually worked in conjunction with TrueRC. There's an antenna design that's actually been around, and it's like so much in this hobby. Most of the antenna designs being used have come from things that have been around in the either military or amateur radio world for years. This one actually originated, we traced it back to the 40s. It's called a Lindenblad antenna. And some people have been fooling around with it in the FP world since I think around 2012. We saw some people talking about it on forums and trying some things. We worked with Hugo up at TrueRC, and he got some new design software and simulation software that was able to do some new things with that Lindenblad design to couple the signal from the feed line to the elements that hasn't been done before on any antenna, I don't believe, for FPV, but at least definitely in this similar sized antennas. And basically, we have this antenna. It's multiple elements inside, which gives it the shape that it is. Special feed lines that actually cause it to be super efficient. We're talking, I don't have the numbers in front of me now, but the super low loss going right into it, better than pretty much any antenna that's out there. And
The SWR. Really off
yeah, the
charts.
SWR is really good. And excellent axial ratio, which means it's very circular, which helps reduce the reflections. And it's a super lightweight case. It's made out of the same type of polycarbonate material that props are made out of.
Oh wow!
So it's lightweight, case, very durable. Performance is great.
9.5 grams.
Yeah,
Oh, it's very light.
Okay.
and and because you're getting so much of that signal, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of antennas, the signal doesn't even make it to the antenna itself. It reflects back,
Sure.
or just gets lost in the transition to the antenna elements. But because so much of that signal makes it to the antenna, or vice versa from the antenna down, you wind up increasing your range, increasing your performance. So this is an incredible antenna. They're actually going to, I believe we're going to have everything together to have these going out probably on Monday or Tuesday.
Wow.
So yeah, we haven't, sometimes some products we hype a lot ahead of time, and sometimes we just kind of surprise everyone with them. So this one's
Yeah,
this
this is a big surprise.
yeah, like the Goblin, right? We've been talking about it,
Sure.
for a long time. Well, these are ready to ship.
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Wow.
Very nice.
So and I guess we'll go ahead and throw this out because we finally just zeroed in on the price. They're going to be $9.99 a piece.
Wow.
And realize that these are the PCBs inside were actually made here in North America, in Canada. And then they were assembled by our manufacturer in China. So, it's not just the cheap stuff thrown together. This is good stuff. We have an incredibly good manufacturer that we work closely with on a lot of products, and they QC them and really do top-notch work for us. And you'll see it when you get these.
Sure.
And I guess we'll go ahead and talk about the antenna. Talk about the name. Sorry, I think I talked on top of you there.
Oh, that's okay.
But being they're the.
Ask is it designed for transmitting and receiving, or is it receiving only?
It's both. Yeah,
okay.
it's omnidirectional. So any situation where you'd want to omni.
Mm-hmm.
And so, being that Strix is an owl, we decided to call this the Hoot antenna. Therefore, you will have the left hand, the Hoot L, and then you'll have the right hand, the Hoot R, the Hooter.
I like it.
So make sure you use this pair of Hooters for the best reception.
I love it.
I love it.
Great. That's
Love
some
it.
very
Oh, I didn't even think
clever
about
marketing
that. Oh,
right there.
Let's go on the listing.
Yeah. Alex, you said something. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I said, you remember we were talking about branding and marketing and stuff,
Yeah, we have to set a precedence with this.
That's right.
Yeah. We also have some motors that are coming up. Kevin, you want to talk a little bit about those? I guess
I
those.
just pasted 2 pictures in our Facebook chat. Of course, the listeners can't hear it or see it.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys can.
Do you want me to share my screen and I can show these guys off? Give me 1 second, guys. I will just set this up. Pause. 57.
So basically, this is a motor made by Cobra for us, and it's similar to their Champion series, the CP motors. They're 2207, 2450 kV, and it's we're calling them the 6 shooters. If you look at the top of the motor,
I see that.
It's kind of like like a revolver a little bit at the front of the cylinder. I'll talk about this. I know that this is your favorite motor size currently with the Cobra. Do you want to add anything?
Did you say me? Because you cut out there
broke
for
up for a second. Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, no, that's so.
Yeah.
I started working with Cobra back in January of this year, so almost a full year now. And I tried several of their motors. I fell in love with this particular size and kV, and I've been using it all year for every single rig that I have, 5 and 6 inch. Been very happy. And then Cobra and RMRC, they wanted to work together even more. Obviously, we've been using their motors in a lot of our planes, so we've been working together with that. And so they finally, I guess, Kevin, you went to them with the idea of this motor. And I was all for it because, like I said, I love that size, I love that kV, and the performance is the best out there in my opinion. I've tried all the T motors, all the other junk, and this is still my favorite motor by far.
So you guys are the first ones to see this outside of Ready Made. What do you guys think of the design?
I like the looks. They're
I was going to say,
motor.
Mike, why don't you kick off what your
their
initials
they're
are?
Really nice looking. I could absolutely see these on a quad right now.
Yeah. My thing might crash. Hang on 1 sec, guys. Sorry, I may lose you.
Oh boy.
Okay.
It's the browser that's trying to crash out because I'm trying to screen share the images that you guys sent over. There it goes. Okay, it did it. So yeah, we managed to get the screen out, guys. So what was the? I'm sorry, I missed it when you guys were talking stator size. What was the stator size on this?
2207, 2450 kV.
Oh,
yeah.
So those are golden numbers that you're talking about. I'm currently flying a 2205 2300, and I really like that combination. So just having a little bit more stator for the high end, but not going crazy town on the kV is something that's ringing bells in my ears. So have you tested this through 5 and 6 inch, or is this specifically designed for the 5 inch?
So me primarily, I run it on 5 inch, but I have used it on 6 inch. It's not the most efficient motor for a 6 inch. However, it still one of my favorites. Like I said, tons
Sure.
of power. You get that pop when you need it, but it's not uncontrollable. It's just got the torque when you need it, but it's still smooth. So, especially with the new HQ 6x3x3s, it's pretty much a perfect combo, in my opinion.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you're trying to use this as a new break-in for the 5-inch. And do you see this as more of a freestyle motor, or is this a racing motor, or somewhere kind of in between?
So again, this is the same motor, basically the same internals, I would say, as the Cobra that I've been using all year long, and I use them for racing and freestyle. In my opinion, it's perfect for both equally. So
it's a good crossover. Sure.
Yeah.
4 grams lighter too. So.
It's you said 10 grams lighter.
2.
I was going to say 10. Where'd you save that weight?
2 times 4, so you're almost.
We used
10 grams.
helium-filled windings, and
I was going to
it's
say
the new hype.
you're working some wizardry there if you're getting 10 grams out of each one. I also see that you have elected for a naked bottom, aka pantless design on this one. Again, this seems to be a trend. The big question that I have: are you going 16x14 spacing, or are you keeping it 14x14?
First off, can I say something?
Go for it.
We started the pantsless trend with the new hype train motors, the ready-made RC rifles.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes, that's true. And that was earlier in the year, because I was having a look at the rifles.
Yeah.
And we took so much flack for that too. We had so many complaints with people saying, "Oh, you're gonna rip out the windings. You're gonna get dirt caught inside." And now look around. Everyone has pantless motors. I don't understand what the big deal was.
No one has pants anywhere.
No, clearly none of you live in Central Florida, where we have Spanish moss literally everywhere. So yeah, you've never got Spanish moss caught in the pantless ones. That's my biggest gripe with the new Hyperlights that I have. But that being said, that's a very small niche of people you're talking about versus the rest of the world. Frankly, they're easier to install. You can see right through. They're easier to clean out pantless. So I think that you definitely made a good move there.
To me, that's the big thing is cleaning them out when you do get them dirty.
Yeah. See, the rest of the U.S. doesn't deal with right. Well, Mike was saying, see, here in Florida, we deal with sand in motors. Up where you guys all live, you deal with mud in your motors.
Mud, dirt, clay.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm lucky because all I do is tap, tap, tap. All the sand drops right out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go.
I think any kind of motor, whether it has the pants or not, it winds up with dirt in it. So in this case, you can actually get to it and pull it out of it.
And that's why I like the pantsless motors, is because you can clean them out easier.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
That's great. How are they? I'm assuming they're just standard copper windings on the inside.
Yeah, I think we're all waiting for your answer. Yeah,
there it goes.
Yes.
Yeah. There's so little difference in performance, but cost makes a big difference going to some other materials. So yeah, these are copper.
Sure, fantastic. And I'm assuming they're the curved magnets on these as well.
Kevin, you spec these all out. I believe so. The N52s, right? Kevin, you with us?
Yes. I'm sorry, it was you cut out there for a minute there.
N52 curved magnets, right?
The curved magnets too, I think, right on the CPs.
Yes.
I don't know. I just
my
guys and sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
these are my best guys here.
Tim, you built a solid team.
Yeah, I have a feeling there may be a meeting tomorrow morning.
You guys aren't allowed to do another podcast ever again.
I do the double blind placebo testing. I don't ever look at the stuff. I just.
Yeah.
They spin propellers. They work. Must be good.
Look at that. Kevin sent you a picture. Yeah. Well, you can't see the magnets in that, Kevin. So, but look how nice and clean the windings are.
Yeah.
That is a final production motor. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have a release date on these yet?
Well, they're supposed to be shipping to us maybe in another week or so. So we'll have them on there probably in 2 weeks, I would say, on our website.
Fantastic. And with that being said, price point, are we looking very similar in terms of the Strix price and quality?
I think they're $24.99 on these.
Okay.
That's very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for high performance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's right on par with a lot of the Moses that are out there. Especially, the light specs from Emax, you're right on par with that. So and especially for a crossover the status size that it is, you cannot beat that price. That is phenomenal, and the looks. I don't think I've ever seen a Mosa with that look as well. That's absolutely phenomenal.
Very Strixy.
Yeah,
throw them on the Octu 10 or the new Strix frame that we have coming out, and it's going to be perfect.
That's right. Yeah, the new Strix frame we talked about. See, this is definitely an opportunity for us to mention all the new cool things.
Yeah. So we jumped on it a little bit. Do you have a name picked out, AJ?
I believe we've universally decided. Is that something that we can drop?
Yeah.
The name of the frame?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I believe we're going to call it the Screech.
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 Ooh.
Not Saved by the Bell Screech.
Well, I was going to say, let's hope not.
So wait a second. What? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the rifle. What was the name of the Moses? I'm sorry.
Six shooters. Like
Six shooters. So you got a 6-shooter with the new hoot on the Screech.
Yes.
Oh,
it's a fun night.
Fantastic. Yeah, this is a great night. I'm really enjoying this. The names are amazing. You guys definitely following the owl terminology this is going to be a lot of fun. I think you guys have got a really strong brand that you're really doing some creative things with. And yeah, I'm having a look, and that looks phenomenal, that Mosa. The paint on it, the Strix logo, it just looks so clean. And finding motors of any color of any kind can be hard, but I know a lot of pilots like to use big, sharp pop colors on the motors. The oranges, phenomenal.
I like that.
We have to give a shout out to. Yeah, it is.
So they went through about 4 or 5 runs trying to get the anodizing right, and they finally came out with this. So we're pretty happy with that.
We have to give a big shout out to Ryan, who did he came up with the original Strix logo, but he does a lot of our graphics, and he did a good job with that design on that logo. It looks great on the motors.
Yeah, it really
Mr. Noise.
Mr. Noise.
Oh, that's phenomenal. So yeah, and that's just on the multi-rotor side. That's not even going into the planes. So and that was kind of funny because I was going to ask you if you guys are expanding the multi-rotor line at all. With I really wanted to make sure I brought this up because you guys work so closely with Project Blue Falcon, and we want to take a second just to remember Project Blue Falcon and all the incredible videos that he pumped out on the partnership with Ready Made RC that he had, and pushing some incredible products that you guys had at the beginning of this year. So with that being said, you guys have continued to develop the Strix line of multi-rotor products, which is incredible. So this is coming completely full circle. And now, moving forward, we're looking at some of the new plane stuff that you have with the Nano Goblin, the Nano Sky Hunter, et cetera, et cetera. So are you doing more with the plane stuff on the Strix line in 2018, as well as obviously developing multis?
Alex is working on one, and it's really cool, but I don't think we should talk about that yet. But maybe we can drop some hints. Alex, do you have any hints for him?
We already said
Oh man, I don't know.
I heard crickets.
Yeah, well, we got some pretty stuff in the works, and we're thinking big, and we're thinking capable. So we're can't probably say too much more beyond that.
So
how about flight time? What kind of flight time did you get on that before?
Unlike anything that the market has seen.
So that's code for we're talking long range here.
Long duration.
Long duration. I like it. We'll get at that.
Long range, yeah. A lot of people don't like that concept, but yes, we'll say long duration. You can fly in circles for a long time.
Sounds beautiful. What was it? Free range is the new idiom for it.
It's not long range, it's free range. I like that.
Free range.
Or
Yeah.
airplane.
I think that is a term coined by the FPV show, so we'll give some credit to to Gappet and the boys over at the FPV show. Yeah,
I would say that we're definitely going to be a little more secretive about some of this development, but there will definitely be some new fixed wing developments in the next year. Very
so
cool,
exciting.
very cool ones too. So,
that's
Awesome.
phenomenal. Yeah, that's super exciting. The last thing that I have written here on my show notes, because I think we've literally covered everything on the show notes. So if there's anything else that you guys want to bring up after this, AJ, I know you mentioned earlier that you were previously a DRL pilot in the last 2 seasons. What's the news with DRL coming from your end?
Yeah, I don't have anything exciting for you, unfortunately. No new gossip or anything like that. I really enjoyed my time with DRL. I spent some good times with them. All the pilots, I had some good results in the first season. The season 2, I'd like to say I kind of lost interest in racing a little bit. So maybe I wasn't pushing as hard as I should have been pushing.
Sure.
Practicing. I've always loved racing, especially with DRL. The tracks are amazing. The people are amazing. I mean, who wouldn't love getting paid to be flying all over the country and the world to play with clouds that you don't have to touch? So, but for whatever reason, I got burnt out on just practicing. So I didn't do that well. No excuses. I just couldn't keep up with those guys. Did not get offered a spot for season 3, which, rightfully so. However, they are pushing strong. I've heard some good rumors about where they're going, what they're doing. So I'm pretty sure season 3 is going to be amazing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And we wanted to take the time and say a big congratulations for your participation in the DRL. I think it's only strengthened the Ready-Made brand and strengthened the product line that you guys are bringing out. And especially, I've been watching the Instagram stuff that you've been putting out, AJ, and it's phenomenal. Definitely see an evolution in your flying style over the past year, and it's been really, really fun to watch your flying style evolve, develop, and improve over the course of the year. So it's been really nice from a consumer's perspective to see where Ready-Made is going, see how much you guys have progressed. One thing that I didn't have mentioned down is, I know this is a hot topic, so I apologize if it's a hot topic, but are we going to see a new or refresh on the website anytime soon?
what our current site is perfect. I don't know.
It's amazing. I love it. It's so easy to find everything.
you have no idea. So there's a new page in development, and you have no idea how much we all want it to just be live right now. It's getting really close. We get to use it and test it, and it is so much easier to find things. It looks so much better. But we want it obviously to not crash and take people's money and not actually get orders placed and things like that. So we want it to actually work. So we're kind of getting really close. If Chris is our main web developer is watching, Chris will have it done, I think, in a week. Now
I hope he's not watching.
Chris, you have a deadline. It has now been made public.
Yeah. We said Black Friday. He didn't want to release it on Black Friday for some reason. I don't know why.
Why is that?
No, but we actually are going to start. We've been doing internal testing and tweaking. We are going to do some closed beta where we offer it up to a select few people to actually let them place orders through it. Probably the week between Christmas and New Year. So that, I guess, in the end, for the people that are going to be using us on a day-to-day basis, I'm hoping sometime in January. We're going to keep pushing. I mean, it's easy to get stuck in the wanting to make everything perfect, but we want it to be functionally running.
Sure.
Because right now, as it is so much better than our current site. And we know how we know what our site is right now, and we don't like it. This is built from the ground up, though. This isn't based on any existing format. Literally, Chris has built this from the ground up to do exactly what we want it to do. So, people are going to love it. The being able to go and filter down in different categories, pick your options and so forth, and then filter down the options. Better than most implementations that I've seen. We've kind of looked around and said, what do we, just like we do with planes, what do we want? What would we like to have? And Chris, no pressure, but get it done.
I'd like to interrupt real quick and say I haven't seen other manufacturers or dealers have what this may have shortly. There's a few features that he's taken from high-end websites that some of us may know and implemented them. I can't wait to see it in person. Like it's maybe I shouldn't have said that.
That was plenty.
I've been using it a lot. Actually, a lot of the guys haven't been touching it just because I think they get frustrated they can't really use it in real life. But as I've been working with them, and Kevin has a little bit too, but I've been really digging in with him to try to get some of these things before we put it out for beta testing. And I really hate going back to our current site after doing it. So.
Well, that's a good thing.
It's revolutionary. No, it's use all the keywords that everyone.
Yeah, I mean that's all part of look. I do marketing for a living, so I understand.
Yeah, no, it's good. We want it, and soon. That's all I can say. Soon.
That's fantastic.
Sure,
fantastic. Mikey, you got any other questions for him before I let them finish off with any closing thoughts they have?
No, not really, other than I can't wait to get out there, and I guess I'm going to have to go ahead and order one of the Nano Goblins so I can get the thing on its way out here as quick as I can get it.
Yeah, you better get that express option in.
I really want to get one of those. Say that again, Kevin.
Flight Test has them on order from us, so you could order them from Flight Test.
They have the slow boat version, but yes,
they have the slow boat version. So why would I want to wait?
Yeah, people will be able to order them from Flight Test, but
and that's the thing, guys. We have the name, we have the music. That's all. So we're promoting you guys tonight.
Yeah.
Order from them.
Yeah, we'll order direct from you. We don't have to go through Flight Test for everything.
Yeah.
No, they love our guys. They're great. Yeah, we love working with them, but we love working with them. But yeah, I mean, they obviously not going to pay the extra money per plane and have to charge more to actually sell them. So they're getting the ocean shipment.
Yep, we understand that.
Videos, right, for the Nano Goblin.
Oh yeah, they have two of them. And they were working on a video, so they should have something here really soon for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be out there the 19th, so I may have to
poke the bear.
I may have to try to see if I can fly one while I'm out there or something.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I saw. Well, it was one or two of you guys flying the Nano Goblins at the same time through the barbed wire fences at Flight Fest South. So it definitely, it's a fun little airplane to fly.
I had them in combat at Flight Fest South, and it survived 2 combat sessions actually.
Yeah,
on the same charge. I never charged the battery from the previous day to the next day. And it survived. Wow! You know how long a combat session can last?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a plane up here sitting in the corner that's ever so slightly battle scarred from the Flight Fest South combat, so I understand.
There was some carnage at Flight Fest South. Well, on East too, but South was extremely windy. There was some big carnage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is 100% true. It was on Friday, especially. Saturday wasn't as bad, but Friday was very blustery.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some very fun and exciting crashes that went on in that combat. All right, well, I guess we'll turn it over to you, Tim, for closing. Is there anything else that you want to pump out or talk about for the Christmas season?
Well, I mean, obviously, the spouses can get gift certificates if they don't know what to buy and can't find what they wanted to find on their site. And but yeah, I mean, we have lots of stuff going on. We do have our flat spin sale that we're putting some good items in, and the story behind that is the price slowly drops. Well, 1% of the current price every 5 minutes it drops. So it's kind of a reverse auction. If you wait too long, you don't get it. But if you buy early, you maybe pay more than you would have, had you waited a little bit. We've been trying to keep that loaded up and with a lot of good stuff right now. So a lot of times we use it for closeout items. But right now we're putting in a lot of premium. We've had Dominator HD3s in there. We've had Pro Sight systems in there. We've had Goblins in there. No Nano Goblins. Oh, sorry, not that.
Oh, you mean they're not on sale? Dang it!
No, not on sale. But so yeah, keep checking that out. Now I say that I haven't looked in a little while. It might be
Looking
need
at
a
it right now,
refresh. But
actually. And it's
does
all
it need
T-motor
refresh,
props.
Kevin?
If you guys need any 26-inch 3-blade T-motor props, we have them.
Okay, there may be a few closeout items going
TJ,
there.
are you listening?
Or if you're getting into
But yeah.
paramotoring, they may be good for that.
That's
Yeah,
true.
there you
Oh,
go.
yeah. What's his name? Out in Colorado? Is it Colorado? He is. Mike, help me out. RC test flight. Crap.
yeah.
What's his name?
The kid?
I'm lost.
I think I know who you're talking about. The kid? Is he getting
Yeah.
into it as well?
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started in February. I'm super excited. And it's thanks to Flight Test. Thank you for turning us all onto that. There's a lot of us getting into it because of that. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, so AJ, I did have a question for you. Will I be seeing you in January at Wings Over Winter?
I won't be able to make that one. Yeah, I don't start until February. But I'm going to be there right after that ends.
Well,
So.
if you are free one evening and you want to grab dinner, just let me know. I'm like an hour away from there, so we can
Awesome.
definitely meet up and grab something. But that's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to have a heck of a time writing up these show notes. So thank you guys very, very much. Mike, do you have anything to close before I play this voicemail and we close out for the night?
No, I think we should go ahead and play the voicemail and let these guys hear it because they
All right.
should enjoy it.
Give me 1 second, switch my audio.
'Cause
Where is it? Where did it go?
you lost it.
No, I didn't lose it. I just decided to add it to my. I added it to the soundboard, and of course, I didn't change the thing to the right place. Hang on 1 sec.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I know. Terrible. Well, I'm gonna have fun in editing too. That's what that's code for. Oh God! Here we go. Okay, don't do that. Okay, it is on that one. Stand by.
Oh, the anticipation is killing me.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Got really quiet.
Awkward silence.
That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Not Ockbot silence, awkward silence. Jeez. Guess AJ is a good time to tell everyone why you're called Ockbot.
Because I am awkward. Yes.
AJ
All right, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Okay, this is not working the way I intended it.
Well, you want me to play it off my phone?
So we will do it
to
the
my
old-fashioned
mic?
way. Give me 1 moment to tee it up.
Let me get it right here. I can do it right here. Let me turn my phone up. There we go.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, this is Louis Russi calling from Buffalo, New York. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I was calling to ask AJ a question. I got to meet him at Flight Fest. He came down to Buffalo shortly thereafter, snuck into town, scouting locations for DRL. I didn't get a chance to go down there. But I wanted to find out what's going on with DRL in Buffalo for the future. And also, secondary question, since we got a new Star Wars movie coming out, I'm a Star Wars fan. Who does it better, Darth Vader, Kylo Ren? Have a good night, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
So that sounds like a great two-part question. I like it. So I'm going to answer the first part, and then probably Tim's going to be the best for the
Yeah, I
second.
was going to say, I think Tim should answer the second one.
I agree.
So, yeah, that was actually Kevin and I both went up to Buffalo for scouting a new location. And that is No Limits Racing that's putting on a race in Buffalo, I believe June of next year. So June of 2018. We will be the primary sponsor, I believe, at this point. So it's a Ready-Made RC sponsored event that we're going to be holding in Buffalo at Riverworks. It's a very cool location. They have restaurants, bar, brewery, pretty much everything. They have zip lining, all kinds of stuff. It's a pretty cool place.
Yeah, the Barley and Brewery sounds like the smartest place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
And it's in the best part of the year too, June. So in Buffalo, I know it gets pretty cold up there right about now. In fact, I think it's frozen over pretty well. So
yeah, I saw some really good memes coming out about Buffalo, New York today.
Yeah, I saw a piece of the football game, and I can't believe they were playing football in that crap.
yeah,
crazy.
So that's not actually a DRL sponsored DRL event. That's for Ready Made. That's for No Limits Racing and I'm sorry. That's for No Limits Racing, and we are sponsoring it. Ready Made is sponsoring it. So
fantastic.
It's going to be awesome. The venue is incredible. It's really cool looking place.
Yeah. But we'll have Luis up there, hopefully taking some pictures and giving us some updates on what's going on up there.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like I need to get a plane ticket.
It's definitely one that you don't want to miss. It's going to be pretty cool. So
part 2 of that question?
Part 2. I can't wait to hear this.
So wait. Now this was he was asking for who was best.
Who does it better?
Who does it better? Darth Vader or Kylo Ren?
So first, I have to say that I absolutely love Episode 7, and it was probably it's in my top 3 of the Star Wars movies. These guys are gonna laugh at me because they know I'm just a Star Wars geek all completely. So but you can't beat Darth Vader. Kylo Ren is an awesome bad guy, but he's also seems like a bit of a teenager on a temper tantrum rant. So. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Darth Vader.
At this point, anyway, right?
I'm like I have been Star Wars completely saturated in Star Wars for the past few weeks.
Well, tell them about our Christmas party.
Our company Christmas party is a really nice dinner out at a steakhouse, and then we rented a theater this Saturday for Star Wars.
That's amazing.
Oh, sweet.
So,
where's my invite?
We did the exact same thing last year too, right, Tim? We did.
Can we not talk about last year?
Oh boy!
All right,
stories.
All right, we'll go ahead and do this quick story. So for Force Awakens, which actually also I would say that's up there in my top couple Star Wars movies. It really was way better than I'd hoped. So same thing last year, being that this movie was coming out around Christmas. Was planning our company Christmas dinner at a nice steakhouse, kind of a late lunch, and then we were just going to do a movie. I got the arrangements with the theater. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go Friday and just go ahead and see if I can pick up all the tickets Friday afternoon for the movie. And I get there, and I say, I want to get the tickets. And they give me a stack, and I open it up, and it has it says for tickets at 7 p.m. on Friday, the whatever the date was, the 15th. I'm like, wait, at least say Friday. And but no, this is supposed to be tomorrow. And no, we start looking at emails, and in my great planning, completely messed up and realized at mid lunchtime that I have an entire movie theater of seats for a different day than I thought I did.
Oh
no! So I'm telling everyone, look, it's tonight, and of course, this is Christmas time. People have plans. A lot of them were able to make it. I felt pretty stupid about that. Didn't get everyone that was supposed to make it, so the theater wasn't totally full that time. But it's it's good fun. I love the movies, and actually, I think hopefully everyone enjoys it in the company and stuff. Because it's not too bad to actually do that, to get a smaller theater and
sure.
Yeah, so got a really good deal this year on it, so pretty happy about that too.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I get an excuse to go see it another time in the theater, so
Yeah, you can't beat that at all.
I'm already booked for 1 a.m. on Thursday night, Friday morning. So
there you go. See, at least you get to see it twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we have to say a big thank you, Luis, for reaching out to us on our voicemail. Again, for those of you who don't already know our voicemail number by now, you should. It's very easy to remember. Are you ready for it? It's 802-465-FTCC. We tell you every week. All you have to do is put it in your phone, call us when you want to leave a voicemail, and we'll play it maybe on the air, depending if Google wants to translate correctly. Luis, we'll tell you about that post-show. But do any of you guys have anything else to wrap up before we let you go?
Just want to thank you guys and thank everyone for sticking with us, and thank you guys for having us on.
Oh, it's absolutely been a pleasure. Mike, you got anything in closing?
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on, taking time out of your Sunday evening that you normally spend with your family to come talk to us. And yeah, I know it's pushing your products and stuff, but this close to Christmas, it's always a little tougher than normal. So we appreciate it, and we support your products. We like what you do. I can't wait to get a hold of a Nano Goblin, because I know I'm going to fly the tar out of it. It'll be so much fun, because I was a fixed wing pilot for a very long time, and then as you can see, I'm starting to get into the quads a little more.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But I do fly fixed wing much better than I do quads. But
hashtag work in progress.
this hour flight time has me intrigued, something fierce. And really looking forward to be able to throw in some goggles on and just flying for 45 minutes to an hour and being able to shoot gaps and do all the things that I'm kind of able to do with these, So I'm way looking forward to it. So
awesome.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's absolutely wicked. So before Mike and I share our social feeds, do you guys want to go ahead and pump out everything ready-made and all your personal socials if you would like to participate?
Well, definitely, it's pretty easy. Ready Made RC on Facebook, Ready Made RC on Twitter, Ready Made RC on Instagram. You can hashtag us too. We do reshare some stuff. We talk about it. We do Facebook Friday. We do a live video every Friday at 3 p.m. on Facebook. But if you tag hashtag RMRC, hashtag StrixRC, we a lot of times will repost stuff. I know you guys want to, you have Lockbot out there. He has his own pretty busy Instagram channel out there. Anything else you guys want to throw out?
I got nothing.
Mixed skies.
Mixed skies, that's right.
Yeah, Tim, it's pretty late here. I think I'll see you at about 10 or 11 tomorrow. That sounds about right.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah, we
great.
have tomorrow off, right? We work so late today.
Yeah.
You guys were all on the clock for this, right?
You weren't supposed to say that.
Thank
that was all on Joel. So
Yeah, you can put it on me. That's all right. I can edit that out on post. AJ, do you want to share your social feeds?
Yeah, it's just Ogbots, everything. Insta, Twitter, Facebook, just Ogbots. So thanks for doing that.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Easy
for
to
having
find.
Always posting cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, sorry about the confusion with last week's podcast. That's completely my fault. So
Not even your fault. I'm really glad that we were able to reschedule so quickly. We were excited to have you guys on. Speaking for Mike and Pat and I, we've been really watching you guys closely, and ever since you and I spoke at Flight Fest, we said we've got to have Ready Made on because they're doing some really, really unique stuff. I'm thrilled that we got this thing together and we had you guys on. So expect a re-invite for another show update sometime next year, because I'd love to see what you guys are coming up with further into 18.
yeah,
Love it. That sounds great.
yeah, looking forward to them Hooters too.
Yeah.
And the new antennas.
I think what
yeah, of course.
I think I definitely saw something in the chat that let me see, it was up here fairly recently. It was here we go. Screeching Hooter with a 6-shooter.
oh, there you go. I like it.
So that's got to be a tag. Absolutely love that. All right. Well, Mike, do you want to share your socials real quick?
Yeah, it's Mike Finley on Facebook. It's the Magic One on YouTube, Instagram, on the Flight Test forums, just about everywhere else. So, yeah. So that's me.
And I'm just as easy, Baby Brit FPV. You can see it down there for those, or other way, that way. For those of you who are watching, otherwise you can find me BABYBRAT_FPV. You can find me just about everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, all that fun stuff. But more importantly, the Flight Test Community Podcast, you can find us at ftccpodcast.com. That's where you can find our latest and greatest, all the information about the show, and download episodes. You can follow us on Facebook, and we have a wonderful Instagram account as well. We do share everybody out there, so hashtag FTCC Podcast, and we will see if we can get you guys out there. Again, the voicemail number is 802-465-FTCC. And from all of us here at the Flight Test Community Podcast, Pat, we missed you, buddy. But from all of us here at FTCC, guys, blue skies, and we will see you on the next one. Take it easy. And that'll do it.
Good deal.
All right. Thanks.
All right.